Welcome to another weekly market update. This week we're talking about home price forecasts, mortgage rates, boomers, and more. So stay tuned. Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. With some rising temps across Chicago, we've gone from snow white to muddy trails. For me, it's just a sign that spring will be here before we know it. I don't know about you, but if you notice that there's so many things going on with the economy right now, as well as in and around housing, that's why I'm here, to bring you pertinent information, facts, and frequent market updates like this one. I've got to confess something. I do find myself scratching my head about this market, and I know what's going on. So I'm confused here and there. I can only imagine how you must feel. My commitment is to help you understand what your options are and how to make sense of it all, so that together we can help you make well-informed decisions for you and your household, as well as your short and long-term plans, goals, and aspirations. So you know this video discusses both national and local data. The local data we'll share in just a bit is for Chicago proper, the 77 areas. And although we do service all of Chicagoland, including the Burbs, later in this video, we're only going to dive into the city's data. So let's get started with some fun facts and take it from there. Fun facts, market time. There were 4.9% more homes for sale on the typical date in December compared to the same period in 2022, according to Realtor.com's December 2023 monthly housing market trends report, making the second consecutive month of annual inventory growth. The number of newly listed homes was also up, rising 9.1% annually, while the total number of unsold homes, including pending listings, was up 3.6% compared to last year. Is the housing market all hunky-dory? No. But let's take what good news we can and make it better. I've noticed that the last few Januaries have marked the early spring market. People are out looking. I'd like to suggest that you don't get caught up in the business of the real spring market, but of course, only if you can. Ultimately, my greatest suggestion is that you do what is best for you and your household when it's best for you and your household. We can share numbers, data, and statistics with you, but ultimately the right timing is determined by your needs. Now, let's take a look at home price forecasts for this year. Data from 8 sources we monitor as of January 26th project that home prices across the country will appreciate on average by 2.6% this year. The range is from 5% appreciation to 1.7% depreciation. I have my thoughts about home prices in the Chicagoland area. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Let's start a conversation in the comments below. Now, with this next segment, we're going to talk about some things that may be unpleasant for you, but please bear with me because I not only want to share some data with you, but also some insight and personal experiences. According to AARP, 60% of adults age 65 plus expect to stay in their home as they get older. I'm the first to say that would be ideal for any one of us, to be able to be in great physical shape and health for as long as possible so that we can remain independent, need no to little daily help, and not become a burden on our families or loved ones. But life doesn't always turn out as planned. I spent over a decade working in senior care. On top of that, I spent 6 years caring for a loved one who suffered a massive stroke and was bedridden in a not so nice nursing home, because that's all they could afford. For far too many, getting old ain't fun. And far too many of us think, that won't happen to me, or we do our best to avoid talking about or planning for the inevitable. As you age, your needs will change. And with that, your home may have to change. Whether it's installing a stand-up shower because you can no longer get your leg over the tub's wall, installing a chairlift, or changing homes altogether so you only have a single level that helps you get around more safely without having to climb stairs to use the bathroom, prepare a meal, or go to sleep. Sometimes you may encounter health issues that require skilled care in your home, if you're lucky, or you may find yourself in a facility that provides 24/7 skilled care. Am I making you feel uncomfortable? If so, number one, I'm sorry. And number two, too bad. Be prepared for the unexpected. What you need now is not what you may need later. Your loved ones may need to help you make those decisions, and they may have to make those decisions for you because you no longer can. Bottom line, prepare for the things you do have control over and set yourself and your loved ones up to better handle the unexpected that may lay ahead. If you're ready to have a tough conversation with an estate planner, I've got some awesome referrals. If you find your housing needs changing so you can improve your quality of life, or you're the child of a loved one of someone who's entering a different stage, I'm here to help you. To piggyback that data and topic, let's connect the dots and talk about homeownership by generation. Who owns the most homes across America? Well, okay, Boomer. According to a wealth of common sense, the award goes to Boomers at 43.5%. Gen X is second at 32.5%, Millennial or later 12.7%, and Silent or earlier gets the smallest slice of pie at 11.3%. We can have conversations about this chart, reasons why, etc., and blah, blah, blah. What's the bottom line here? Many boomers are at a stage of their lives where decisions have to be made. And just like they did for their parents and loved ones of the silent generation, their Gen X kids may have to help them make some tough decisions ahead. Maybe you should have encouraged therapy way back when, huh? Hindsight. Oh, I kid, generational trauma. But seriously, folks, life happens. If we're lucky enough to reach a ripe old age, we either live till we die, we're healthy enough to actually enjoy retirement, perhaps without having a pillbox the size of your carry-on luggage, or we end up needing anywhere from some to total care. What happens to all those houses? They either stay in the family or get sold. If it gets sold, it's either going to be by you, your next of kin, possibly the bank, or your local jurisdiction, if you don't have your paperwork in order. Now, I'm not saying this to be cold at all, just stating facts. Eventually, the same will happen for Gen X, then Millennials, then Gen Z, and so on. The cycle and circle of life is nothing new, and it doesn't stop for any one of us. So, if and when you can, buy a house. Turn that house into a home, all while living your life to the fullest with a healthy lifestyle so you can be surrounded by loved ones when it's your time, knowing that you did your best to take care of yourself and the generations to follow. On to a lighter topic, mortgage rates. Rates less than 5%? Yes, that's certainly a big reason why we need more inventory. According to FHFA, 78.7% of existing mortgage rates are at or less than 5%. If that's the case, who the heck would want to leave that rate and sell to only buy something at a higher rate? It just doesn't make sense, right? Well, guess what? If I haven't said this before, life happens. As rates come down, we will likely see more buyers. With that, we are likely to see more sellers and obviously more inventory. Why? Because although they may not get as good of a rate, it may be good enough for sellers to say, this might just make more sense now. Whether you need to move or you want to, do what is best for you and your household. And in the end, don't put a price tag on peace of mind. It's not worth it. Now it's time to wake up for the moment you've been waiting for. This information and data is provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors and current as of January 29th for the week ending January 20th, 2024. From fun facts, we go to quick facts. This is looking at year-over-year changes for residential sales across Chicago, the 77 areas of Chicago. New listings, we were down in the detached market by 27.5%. Attached, being condos and townhomes, down by 25.5%. Under contract, down by 7.5%. Detached, attached, 24.6%. Homes for sale, detached, 26.2% down, and attached down by 24.5%. Breaking that down even further, we wrapped up the week of January 20th, 2024 with 185 single-family detached homes on the market, 3-month average of 226, down by 13.8% year over year, and the attached market, 353, 3-month average of 273, down by 13.3% year over year. Under contract, we wrapped up the week of January 20th with 136 detached single-family homes, with a 3-month average of 122, up by 5.2%, and attached 212, 3-month average of 167, down by 2.6% year over year. And inventory of homes for sale, we wrapped up the week of January 20th with 1,877 single-family detached homes on the market, 3-month average 2,222, down by 21.8% year over year. Attached market 2,512, 3-month average of 3,050, down by just under 23%. So, what does all this information mean for you? Heck if I know. All depends on what's going on in your life and your household. Let's start a conversation and see how we can help you make the most informed decisions. If you'd like copies of any reports or slides we shared with you today, feel free to reach out. We are more than happy to share data and detailed information with you about any one of the 77 areas of Chicago, Northern Cook, and even some parts of Lake County. You can call, text, or email. My contact info is below. And remember, love and money may come and go, but time is something we never get back. So I thank and appreciate you for sharing some of your time with me today. If you want to stay on top of the market with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And think of one person who you believe would benefit from this info, then be sure to share it with them. As always, and now more than ever, take care of yourselves and each other, and don't forget to hug someone today. This is Rick Batista, your friendly neighborhood realtor, and I'll catch you next time.